What is up, everyone? I'm Mike with woodshopmike.com, and today I'm going to tell you about my new dust collector from Harvey Tools. It's the G700 dust processor. The G700 comes packaged on a pallet with a heavy-duty cardboard surround. Once the bands are cut, the crate opens up effortlessly and you're ready to take the unit off the pallet. To remove the unit from the pallet, you have to first open up the door and remove the dust bin, which just happens to be where all the extra dust bags, flexible hose, adapter, and handle are all shipped. With the dust bin out of the way, you can now crawl inside and remove the 4 bolts that secure the unit to the pallet. I first thought it'd be pretty fast to use a ratcheting wrench, but I changed my mind before too long and grabbed the impact driver, and what an impact it made. Once all the bolts are out, I close the door and just seesaw the dust processor off of the pallet. The unit is heavy, but I was able to manage it by moving it around like this. It was kind of slow going at first just to get the unit off of the blocks there in the middle of the pallet, but after that, things went pretty quickly. Just remember, lift with your legs, or better yet, have a friend move it for you. One thing I didn't do before taking this thing off of the pallet was to raise up the support legs. So learn from my mistakes so you don't have to do something like this just to be able to roll it about 5 feet once it's off the pallet. You can go ahead and thank me in the comments for saving you the trouble. There are lots of things I'm excited about with this dust processor, and one of them is definitely the footprint. I had this bump out in the shop and it looks like it was practically made for the G700 to fit into. The dust processor comes with a remote to turn the unit on and off. On the G700, there is a control panel that allows you to vary the speed from 40 MHz to 75 MHz. There is also a pressure gauge that is mainly intended to let you know if there's a clog somewhere in your ducting. Basically, if you see the pressure gauge rise outside of its normal range for your system, you know there's a clog somewhere in the system that needs to be cleared. And by system, I mean your ducting. So I'm going to simulate this by having an extra blast gate closed, and then when I open that additional blast gate, you'll see the pressure drop off. As the unit is running and collecting chips, you can see them spinning through the separators. And maybe I'm just a nerd, but I think this is actually pretty cool to watch. But maybe only for like the first minute or so. Then I need to get back to work. When you're ready to shut down the unit, simply turn it off with the remote and the dust processor will wind down. And watching the ducting relax as the G700 slows down is a testament to just how much pressure and air this thing is moving. Okay, so now let's see how this performs with my biggest dust producer in the shop. I've historically always had chips pile up on the floor in front of my planer and would have to regularly blow off the bed of the machine while running boards through. After milling about 100 board feet of 4/4 maple down to 3/4 of an inch, the alarm went off letting me know that the collection bin was full. I decided to ignore it for just a few more boards, which I soon learned is a big no-no. So I emptied out the unit. It's pretty simple, just open up the door, roll out the bin, remove the bags. Now the larger bin there on the left mainly collects chips, while the smaller bin on the right mainly collects the fine dust, as you can see. So with the bags emptied, they go back into the bins. You just have to roll the top edge of the bag around the lip of the bin and then loop that elastic band around both of the bags to keep them in place. After that, just roll the bin back into the unit and close the latch to compress the gasket at the top of the bins and seal everything up. So once a week, the red knobs at the end of each separator need to be turned several times to clean out the filters. And then the unit needs to be deep cleaned every 3 weeks by hooking up to one of the clean out ports and then running the machine. But if you're like me and you keep running the machine after the collection bin is full, you'll need to go ahead and do a deep cleaning and pull out an absurd amount of chips from the cleaning ports. So I used compressed air here in conjunction with the machine actually running to clean out those ports. Assuming your clean out ports aren't clogged, this is what will happen if you remove the cap with the unit running. Ugh. So again, don't be like me and have dust blow all in your face. Turn off the machine and then remove the cap. Once you have the dust hose hooked up to the clean out port, turn the corresponding red knob for about 5 to 10 seconds and then cut off the unit. Clean out the other port and then reinstall the caps. With the cleaning maintenance done, you're ready to fire the machine back up, get back to work, and start making some more dust. So I just finished running about 100 board feet of soft maple through the planer, which has historically been the biggest headache for good dust collection. And as you can see, I only have a couple of chips on the bed of the machine. There are a handful of chips on the floor in front of the machine, which was not the case with my previous setup. I would have chips all over the bed of the machine, all over in front of the machine on the floor, behind the machine on the floor, and I had resigned myself to just grabbing the air hose, hosing off the bed of the planer every couple of boards, just so that I could run boards through the machine without chips imprinting on the underside of my stock. So having the G700 in the shop has already been a huge time saver just by the fact that I don't have to sweep up a ton of dust off the floor, clean up the machine. It's already all in the bins in the dust processor. So if you have any questions or comments about the G700 dust processor from Harvey, make sure to leave those in the comments section below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and I hope the video was helpful.
Ah, you're still there. Awesome. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, I got another one queued up for you right here. And if you want other awesome content from me, check out those. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like and subscribe. And until next time, have fun making something.